Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Stapakaya Dharmasya Sarvadharma Swarupine Stapakaya Dharmasya Sarvadharma Swarupine Avadara Varishtaya Ramakrishna Yate Namah. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God incarnate, who came to establish religion universal. Let us pray to Him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. We have been studying the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. In last two classes before the summer recess, I had started the topic, waste no more time. Same topic I am continuing in this class also. The meaning of wasting the time we should know clearly. The more and more we are involving in worldly activities, worldly ways of life, that means we are wasting the time. All through various lives we have been living most probably worldly life. So instinctively people are drawn towards worldly way of life, totally becoming unaware of the spiritual awareness. But the spiritual teachers, saints and sages, have come now and then to give us awakening to real life. What is real life? Pursuing this spiritual path. We have tremendous spiritual potentiality, but because we have not given any attention, any priority towards developing our spiritual dimension, we are just hugging the unreal to be real. So as long as we hold on to these unreal things of the world, we are bound to suffer. Whatever the joy we may get through senses, they're all just illusion. The real happiness or the real joy comes only through the realization of the truth. I am reminded of Swami Vivekananda's famous sayings. He said, never say you are a bad person. Say only you are good. And then Swamiji says, but be better. That's most important. be better. Not simply getting satisfaction, you are good in so many ways. That's the end of life. No. You have to develop your spiritual personality, then only you are really developing properly. So, that means Swamiji's important point is that nobody should condemn oneself. On the other hand, have positive attitude, everything becomes easy. What is needed is steadfastness and earnestness, wholehearted focus on the spiritual life, not trying to compromise spiritual ideas from worldly point of view. One needs to get stabilization in developing spiritual qualities, and also one should be clear enough to assimilate the spiritual ideas and apply them in life. But what is needed is spiritual practice. If you don't do that, that means the life is wasted from spiritual point of view. The more you neglect, then longer the way for you to face. There was a great saint in Bangalore whom I had visited. His name was Anjanappa Swami. The great saint who had realized Hanuman. All of us had gone from ashram. We went there, and along with us some devotees also came. We all did pranams to the saint. And one of the devotees came there to offer salutations to the saint. Looking at him, the saint said, "You have to go a long way." That devotee was stunned. Why that Swamiji is making that statement to me? Only Swamiji knows. That means the more and more you go deep into worldly way of thinking, worldly way of action, longer the way it would be to turn spiritual. So everything is in our own hand. But sages come, incarnations come to give us warning, to give us awakening. They show tremendous compassion towards the humanity. But if we don't recognize that, it's great misfortune. So what is spiritual life really means? Practical life. What you have understood spiritually, live in a practical way. Swami Turyananji narrated an incident which happened in his life. Swamiji used to go and take baths in Ganges at 3:30 in the morning. Every day he would go. After taking bath, he would come and sit for meditation. One day he noticed something like a thick rope floating in the water. It was moving in the opposite direction of the current. Swamiji watched carefully and found out that was a crocodile giving a lash with its tail. Swamiji ran back to the bank. It's early morning, 3:30. Then he despised his behavior and began to consider. What? He told himself, you think you are the Atman, birthless, deathless, and now you run away from death? So he began to think about that statement of the Upanishad. After he discriminated in this manner, he again dived into the water and faced the crocodile. He was determined not to run away even if the crocodile should try to kill him. But he heard a divine voice. Look here. You are not acting from knowledge of the Atman. You have not yet attained that state. You are letting yourself be guided by your willful ego. This is nothing but rashness. Swamiji was nervous at the time. If he had had the realization of the Atman, he would not have been afraid. The very fact he was afraid proved that he has not realized Atman. So, that's how Swamiji says, Lord taught him the lesson. Swami Chidananda and all the other direct disciples, they had tremendous love, devotion to Sri Ramakrishna. They believed 100% that Sri Ramakrishna was none other than Supreme Paramatman, the soul of souls. Swami Chidananda says Sri Ramakrishna solved all the problems of his life. He has no problem left to solve. When he was in the West, whenever anyone asked him a question, Swami used to look at the person, Chidananda. He could see his problem and the answer would immediately come to his mind. Swamiji said, at one time I liked the philosophy that everything is in a state of flux. But then I realized the fallacy of it. I felt that there must be a permanent substance to witness the changes. One looks on the phenomenal universe as real unless one finds something higher. Why don't we understand the truth that this world is unreal? Why don't we understand the truth? Because we are attached to it. Swamiji said further, I used to ponder over all these philosophies. Then I realized that love for God is the only point that matters. After studying and discussing philosophy, I came to the conclusion that one-pointed devotion to the Supreme Atman is one important thing. Referring to Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Chidananda said, Sri Ramakrishna's life had two aspects. You must try to understand both. If you accept only one aspect, there will be misunderstanding and confusion. For instance, the master used to give presents to musicians who played for him. When he had nothing else to offer them, Sri Ramakrishna would give away the very clothes he was wearing. Was not that an example of supreme renunciation? On the other hand, when that same Ramakrishna did not receive the customary food offering from the temple, he anxiously inquired about it and asked Swami Yogananda to go and get it. Swami Yogananda asked, "Why bother?" Master rebuked him. "What? I know you are a man of great renunciation. You don't care." How to reconcile these two attitudes? Of course, Sri Ramakrishna did not take a morsel of that food offering himself. He had it brought for distribution among the devotees. One day Sri Ramakrishna told Yogananda, "Be a devotee, but don't be a fool. When you want to buy something, go to different shops, compare the prices and take the best and the cheapest. If you save money this way, give that money to the poor." See how all these spiritual teachers are hinting us to develop our character, to become generous, to help the needy. There is another instance when Swami Brahmanji found a paisa that someone had lost. He showed it to the master. Master asked him, "Why did you take it? You don't need it." Why would a person who doesn't want any fish go to the fish market and haggle about prices? How can you reconcile these contradictory attitudes? One time Sri Ramakrishna apparently behaves like any other worldly man, carefully calculating about everything. Then again he exemplifies the ideal of renunciation. You see, he was a man of principle. He represented an ideal householder or monastic in whatever he did. And this is what I would call a perfect soul. If an ordinary man gets a little renunciation, he completely loses his head. The worldly man, on the other hand, is very grasping. As we associated with Sri Ramakrishna, our eyes opened. He showed us the ideal life by his own example. When the Marwadi devotee Lakshmi Narayan offered Sri Ramakrishna 10,000 rupees, Sri Ramakrishna fell unconscious. Regaining consciousness, he told the devotee to get away from him. When Lakshmi Narayan suggested giving the money to Hriday, Sri Ramakrishna's nephew, so that it may be used for the master's needs, Sri Ramakrishna exclaimed, "Oh, no, no, no. He will accept it in my name, and I can't bear the thought of possessing money." The devotee remarked, "Oh, I see. You have not yet overcome the idea of acceptance and rejection." Master simply replied, "No, I haven't. I have somebody to look after me. I know that for a fact. So I do not worry. This is neither imagination nor poetry nor romanticism. It is really true. I see my protector as I see you before me. I willfully try to do wrong, but he won't let me. He is protecting me. Can you understand this? But one must not talk about such things. Ego, vanity, very bad. Some holy people, while eating, really feel that they are offering sacrifice to Brahman, the all-pervading spirit, in the form of the vital energy. Any other attitude is brutish. Such people feel light in body, others carry a heavy weight. There are yogis who can cure any kind of physical disease. Swami Chidananda said, I firmly believe that if I made the attempt, I could get back my youth. But that would be small-minded. You can't keep the body forever. Everyone knows that. So why waste your energy to prolong the lifespan? Furthermore, everything happens by His will. Why assert yourself? It only increases your sense of ego. Great suffering is in store for the man who takes his own responsibility and does not surrender himself to God. You see, I don't feel responsible for myself and therefore I enjoy the fun. How people worry about wealth. You boys have renounced everything. You know that the Lord supplies all the necessities of your life, although you own nothing. But as a general rule, people seek the power of wealth. The Divine Mother does not let them know that she alone protects, because they are attached to possessions. She knows them the play of wealth. She shows them the play of wealth. Swami Abhayadhanji at one time used to catch fish, reasoning that the Atman is immortal. It neither slays nor is slain. Learning of this, Sri Ramakrishna sent for him. He told Abhayadhananda, what you are saying is true, but at your state of development, before you have realized the Atman, it is not good to discriminate in that way and kill any creature. You should know that realization of the Atman is a state of attainment beyond all logic and reason. He who attains that state feels compassion for all beings. A holy person is freed from all samskaras, tendencies of the mind. But the thought wave of compassion stays with him to the last moment of his life. Never give up the ideal of a holy man. There are people who worship God in order to gain power, occult power for instance. But we want the sweet and loving aspect of God. Those who seek power feed their ego. The ego which causes all the suffering in the world. Narad taught constant recollectedness of God. Let no other thought or desire enter your heart. Let the current of your mind run to God smoothly, like oil poured from one vessel into another. At one time I felt that my life was unbearable because of my sense of ego. How I was to get rid of it? By committing suicide? Of course not. But this very thought, how to overcome the sense of ego, made me restless. Then it disappeared. This was a sort of crisis that I passed through. Then Swamiji says, Turiyanji, spiritual growth is a gradual process. Practice the disciplines patiently and make them habitual in your life. Make use of the time. Use it properly in spiritual ways. Time is very precious. Never waste it. Manu has written that if a Brahmin or a Brahmacharin, a novice, wakes up after sunrise, that's a sin which has to be expiated. I don't think that I ever woke up after sunrise. For a time I practically gave up sleep altogether. I used to practice spiritual disciplines constantly and I never suffered from drowsiness. This world is a bad place, but if one doesn't worry about himself, but thinks of others and acts accordingly, one finds some meaning to this life. In one of his letters, Swami Chidananda wrote, when I go for alms, not Chidananda, Swami Vivekananda, I give people something in return. Give and take. That is the motto for a monk. Sanatana Goswami, a well-known disciple of Sri Chaitanya, had admitted his defeat in a debate with a scholar and wrote a certificate to that effect. Jiva, Sanatana's brother disciple, defeated this scholar in turn and took the certificate away. Learning of this, Sanatana excommunicated Jiva for his egotism, and Jiva practiced austerities to purify himself. Rupa Chaitanya, another of Sri Chaitanya's disciples, said that the duty of a devotee of God is to have compassion for all creatures. Sanatana used to take a glass of buttermilk as his sole daily food and chanted the name of the Lord all day long. Haridas, one of his brother disciples, would not break his fast until he had repeated the divine name 300,000 times. Amazing. But these were not ordinary human beings. It is not possible for average people to practice spiritual disciplines to this extent. We have seen Swami Vivekananda meditating the whole night. Then early in the morning he would take his bath, and people did not know anything about his austerities. Swami Chidananda said, I never saw Swami Vivekananda sitting idly. He either studied or conversed on God or meditated. One day, Swami Shivananda sang a devotional song to Sri Krishna. While listening, I began to weep and went into ecstasy. And Swami Vivekananda did too. To live the ideal life is our only purpose. The truth of the Upanishads is to be attained. The truth is, and it must be realized in one's own self. Swami did that. Of course, the one truth is perceived in many ways according to the capacity of the individual. To be completely selfless, that is the ideal which everybody understands. Selfishness is the root of lust. Lust will decrease as you become unselfish. People become restless by thinking of themselves. The more you renounce your ego, the greater will be your spiritual unfoldment. Cling to your little self and you will remain little. Many people think, first let circumstances become favorable, then they will practice spiritual disciplines. But conditions will never be ideal. You must begin your spiritual struggles wherever you are and under whatever circumstances you find yourself. Worship the Lord. Make it a regular routine in your life to worship Him. Wake up early in the morning. First worship the Lord, sing His praises, and then only attend to your other duties. There are two selves, as it were. One is impersonal, the unchanging reality. The other is the so-called individual self, identified with many adjuncts, body, mind, senses and possessions. It is the individual self that is born, grows old and dies. The impersonal self always remains the witness. As long as one is identified with the adjuncts, one cannot realize the impersonal. Free yourself from these limitations and realize the absolute. The cause of human bondage is the sense of me and mine. Renounce this sense of possession and you become liberated. Sickness, mental laziness, doubt, lack of enthusiasm, sloth, craving for sense pleasure, false perception, despair caused by failure to concentrate and unsteadiness in concentration. These distractions are the obstacles to knowledge. Mental laziness, the laziness of the mind and body. You don't want to do anything. The mind is depressed. Doubt whether you will succeed or not. Lack of enthusiasm, always afraid to act. You have to be full of energy to achieve anything. Sloth, craving for sense pleasure. The mind does not wish to give up its distractions. It knows that they are bad and yet cannot give them up. Ram Maharaj, a disciple of Swami Brahmanji, never gave lame excuses. Whatever work he undertook, he would do with a perfectly concentrated mind. Unless one is sincere, one cannot grow spiritually. To be successful in work, one first has to plan the work carefully and then do it. How can it succeed without organization? In every act you must keep perfectly calm. Many times in the process of performing one right action, we make 10 mistakes. What are the effects of meditation and japam? They make the mind strong and pure. One attains sincerity of purpose. One is the same inside and outside. For several years, Swami Chidananda said, I used to sleep only 2 hours at night. I never had any headaches. In the morning I used to sit for 4 or 5 hours, meditate, chant and study at one sitting, and then do the worship and then cook. I would eat very little and so never felt drowsy or lethargic. So like that, what is important is that we should develop spiritual qualities. We should be free from doubt. We must give top priority for spiritual development, and we should remain calm and practice the teachings of the great masters. That's the way how we should utilize the time. No doubt we are in some way or other to be involved in the world, but that doesn't mean that you should not give attention to your spiritual needs. Unless you give attention to your spiritual needs, you will not be able to develop your potential spiritual qualities, and that means you will be wasting the time. So, every day, as it is said, as soon as you get up from the bed, think of God, offer your own prayers and meditation in your own way, and then start doing other activities. Everything will be okay. Start the day with thinking of God and close the day again by thinking of God, and then go to sleep. Surrender everything at the lotus feet of the Lord. Feel that you are the baby of the Divine Lord. Everything becomes easy, and Divine Lord Himself clears the way and uplifts you to higher spiritual realization. Page 950, Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. About 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Sri Ramakrishna was sitting on the bed in his room in the Kasipur garden house. Shashi and Yam were with him. He asked Yam by a sign to fan him. There was a fair in the neighborhood in celebration of the last day of the Bengali year. A devotee whom Sri Ramakrishna had sent to the fair to buy a few articles returned. What have you bought? The master asked him. Devotee said, candy for 5 pice, a spoon for 2 pice, and a vegetable knife for 2 pice. Master, What about the penknife? Devotee, I couldn't get one for 2 pice. Master said eagerly, go quickly and get one. M was pacing the garden. Narendra and Tarak returned from Calcutta. They had visited Girish Chandra's house and other places. Tarak said, we have eaten a great deal of meat and other heavy stuff today. Narendra said, yes, our minds have come down a great deal. Let us practice tapasya. To Yam he said, what slavery to body and mind. We are just like coolies, as if this body and mind were not ours, but belonged to someone else. In the evening, lamps were lighted in the house. Sri Ramakrishna sat on his bed, facing the north. He was absorbed in contemplation of the Mother of the Universe. A few minutes later, Fakir, who belonged to the priestly family of Balram, recited the hymn of forgiveness addressed to the Divine Mother. Shashi, M and two or three other devotees were in the room. After the recital, Sri Ramakrishna, with folded hands, very respectfully bowed to the deity. M was fanning Sri Ramakrishna. The master said to him by signs, get a stone cup for me that will hold a quarter of a seer of milk. White stone. He drew the shape of the cup with his finger. M, yes sir. Master, when eating from other cups, I get the smell of fish. It was about 8 o'clock in the morning. M had spent the night at the garden house. After taking his bath in the Ganges, he prostrated himself before Sri Ramakrishna. Ram had just come. He saluted the master and took a seat. He had brought a garland of flowers which he offered to the master. Most of the devotees were downstairs, only one or two were in the master's room. Sri Ramakrishna was talking to Ram. Master asked him, how do you find me? Ram answered, in you one finds everything. Presently there will be a discussion about your illness. The master smiled and asked Ram by a sign, will there really be a discussion about my illness? Sri Ramakrishna's slippers were not comfortable. Dr. Rajendra Datta intended to buy a new pair and had asked for the measurement of his feet. The measurement was taken. Sri Ramakrishna asked him by a sign about the stone cup. Him at once stood up. He wanted to go to Calcutta for the cup. Master said, don't bother about it now. Yam said, sir, these devotees are going to Calcutta. I will go with them. Yam bought the cup in Calcutta and returned to Kasipur at noon. He saluted the master and placed the cup near him. Sri Ramakrishna took the cup in his hands and looked at it. Dr. Rajendra Datta, Dr. Srinath, Rakal, Haldar and several others came in. Rakal, Shashi and the younger Naren were in the room. The physicians heard the report of the master's illness. Dr. Srinath had a copy of the Gita in his hand. Dr. Srinath to his friends said, everything is under the control of Prakriti. Nobody can escape the fruit of past action. This is called Prarabdha. Master said, why? If one chants the name of God, meditates on him and takes refuge in him. Dr. Srinath said, but sir, how can one escape Prarabdha, the effect of action performed in previous births? Master, no doubt a man experiences a little of the effect, but much of it is cancelled by the power of God's name. A man was born blind of an eye. This was his punishment for a certain misdeed he had committed in his past birth. And the punishment was to remain with him for 6 more births. He, however, took a bath in the Ganges, which gives one liberation. This meritorious action could not cure his blindness, but it saved him from his future births. Dr. Srinath said, but sir, The scriptures say that nobody can escape the fruit of karma. Dr. Srinath was ready to argue with the master. Master said to him, why don't you tell him that there is great difference between the Ishwar Koti and an ordinary man. An Ishwar Koti cannot commit sin. Why don't you tell him that? M remained silent and then said to Rakal, you tell him. After a few minutes, the physicians left the room. Sri Ramakrishna was talking to Rakal. Halda, we shall stop here. Do you have any questions to ask? What is needed is spiritual practice. That's all. Without giving any lame excuse. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust, raging furiously within. Own name streamed down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself, O self, drowned deep in the waves of His bliss, tasting His nectar at every step, bathing in His name that bought for various souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, in each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass. Be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and Soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue. The playthings of lust or the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy, consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Oh, how I long for the day when an instant's separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be, in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou who stillest the hearts of devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere. May all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good be at all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied, for he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.